The astrology of this week is potent, and we'll be talking about the transits that are happening basically within a few days of each other, what to expect, and what to do about it. First of all, we're going to see an amplification or a reactivation of eclipse energy from this last month. So the themes that you've been working through are going to be fired up again in these next few days through the 20th of March. And if you don't know those themes, or if you're not entirely clear, you can check my last lunar eclipse by rising sign video. You can also book an eclipse reading with me. That's a mini reading where we talk about the 18-month cycle for you. So those themes are going to be fired up. There's going to be a little bit more volatility. It's going to be a strong energy to contend with. We're not quite done yet. And yet at the same time, we also have a potent Pisces new moon, 28 degrees, that's peaking on the 19th of March, which is also a new moon that's very important for Trump. So usually I try to keep it to a personal chart reading analysis here, but because this is an important lunation for a political figure, it can reverberate at the macro level for us as well, and just something to note. This Pisces new moon begins around the 16th of March when moon moves into Pisces and peaks in the early hours of the 19th, here GMT time zone. So over those few days, that energy is present. The new moon is a time where it's dark outside, where the energy is supposedly more quiet. And we're asked to go inside and to rest and to sleep. Pisces is a sign of sleep, so we want to do more of that during this time. We want to be more in observation mode, more in letting go mode, especially since Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's a time where we're finalizing the life cycle before we begin again, before we enter Aries. In addition, it's also 28 degrees of Pisces, which is the penultimate degree of the zodiac. So it's the second to last degree before we jump into Aries, before again we begin this life cycle. It's considered a sort of unstable energy, and it's better for the release of things. So we have these repeated themes where we're being asked to let go. However, because of the amplification of the Martian energy, the sort of emotional experience that we might have during this week, we may feel impulsive and we may not let go of the right thing, or we may drive into something that we're supposed to be letting go of. So it's important to take a step back and be objective about it. Have a look to see what are the things that are going on for you. What area in life do you need to rest, and do you need to just take a little bit of time for yourself? What are the things that you need to let go of, and what are the things that still need some driving action and energy? And give yourself the space to figure out what those things are so that you don't act impulsively during the period of the actual transits next week. Plus, we also want to keep in mind that Mercury is finishing the retrograde on the 20th of March. So right after the new moon, Mercury is completing the retrograde that began on the 26th of February. This means that we're also going to see a crystallization or an ending or a completion of projects in some way. Go back and see what you've been working on since the 26th of Feb. Have you had any revelations? Have you had any epiphanies? This is something that you can start to crystallize, which will solidify even further around the 9th of April. So for example, if you've been working on your health journey, maybe the Mercury retrograde has been an opportunity to figure out the nice routine, to figure out the right nutrition, to figure out the right balance and healthy habits. And you're starting to solidify those at the end of the retrograde period. And lastly, but certainly not least, we enter into Aries season around the same day, the 20th of March. And this is a very different energy to the closing, to the surrendering, to the letting go that I was speaking of in the beginning of the week. And we're going full gusto into Aries mode. So that's about originality. This is the Equinox. It's the start of a new cycle. It's one of the 4 pillars of the year, where we can really assess what the next quarter is going to look like. We're going to go from a slow energy into a quick energy very rapidly. And that might be a bit disconcerting. It might feel uncomfortable. It might feel a bit intense in this week. So be mindful of that energy shift as well. And it's an invitation for you to think about all the things that you've been brainstorming and move forward with them now in a good momentum. Anything that you've been particularly creative around, this is a great time to put form and structure to it. So if you've had a great idea, now put pen to paper, now make the calls, now go see the people. Make those ideas happen. We're going to be seeing some very different astrology in April and May. It's going to feel very different from this more wandering and sort of emotive experience that we are having right now. And so it's important to start to wrap things up, start to tie some loose ends up before we move into the next cycle. So to summarize, this week is going to be an important new moon on the 16th to 19th of March, so peaking on the 19th. We're going to be asked to surrender and to let go and to finalize all of the things, get the rest that you need. However, because of the driving energy during this time, we may feel a bit impulsive, there may be volatility, and it's important to keep objective, to know when you need to put the foot on the gas pedal, put the foot on the brakes. Okay, so know which one is which. And lastly, on the 20th of March, we enter right into the equinox. We're blasting off into Aries season. We're beginning new projects. We're getting those creative juices flowing. Allow yourself to go there once the 20th of March begins. You don't have to feel like everything has to happen on that day, but it's definitely an invitation to begin something new.